Replaces Saquon Barkley on 2nd and 13.
Pause it. 2nd and long, 2-by-2 split, and the moment this game flipped on a dime.
Hurts down the sideline. There's Brown. He's got it against Durant. Why it's taken this long, who knows? 36 yards, his 2nd catch of the drive.
Pay attention top of the screen. A sluggo route paired with a seam, and a 3-by-3 fire zone with a bluff drop and blitz from LA. Now do me a favor and watch the release of the routes. Sell the slant initially off the stem, and Devonta's goal is to target the middle field safety. If you can force him to quite literally stay in his own lane, strike the second you see the breakaway from AJ. Simplest 38-yard completion you'll ever see. Now let's jump ahead not even 30 seconds later to the very next snap of the football. Same formation, same style of a route concept, except this time around the coverage is a Tampa 2 drop. But the guy up top still makes a difference here. Send AJ on a pure fade to the boundary. Dare the deep half to tail him. You could land a plane in the void that he just created.
Out of the gun. Hurts has got it. Touchdown, Philadelphia. They attack downfield. Voila.
These first 3 weeks for the reigning champs have been a roller coaster. For both good reasons and bad, no matter which side of the football you're covering here. But offensive issues have taken the spotlight, and we might have just witnessed them get fixed in one half of football.
Room in the middle there. Does Hurts use his legs? He'll look to throw. To the sideline. It's Smith. He's got it. Touchdown Philly. All the way back to take the lead.
We all know how they scored, but flip back one snap prior to see how it was set up. Goal line fade for Dotson and a speed out from A.J. Brown. Now pre-snap, Jalen's probably already thinking A.J. at the pylon. But even post-snap, you'll see that this had 6 written all over it. Rams had a cover 0 slot blitz called with Cam Curl taking assignment. The outside leverage was there for the taking.
Brown to the slot on top. 3rd down and goal. He looks in that direction. Throws incomplete. Boy, had Curl turned his head, that ball was pretty much right to him.
So now it's the do or die play of the game. And Chris Shula is going to do anything but let A.J. Brown beat him on this drop back. And the coverage tells you that entirely. 4-man rush, low-level spy, and a cone-style bracket coverage from the one high safety on Brown. Full outside shade from Colby Durant aiming to feed A.J. into the bait. So what do you do if you're Philly here? Why not just dial up the exact same concept on the opposite side from 3rd? That they did, and that it worked. Situational awareness and play design. Using your number 1 wide receiver to completely dictate the game, whether the ball is getting thrown in his direction or not. It looks like that philosophy's found its way to the call sheet. Look back a little bit to the dreaded first half in this game. 3rd down for Philly, 3-by-1 trips, and A.J. Brown solo side opposite. Now I'll just tell you right now that LA is once again in the fire zone. And absolutely nobody on this side of the line saw it coming. Seems as if the front line didn't even know the snap was coming.
Talking about bringing it here and getting there. Jalen McCullough absolutely levels Jalen Hurts.
Lot to point fingers at up front here, especially if you want to dive into what it looks like without Lane Johnson on the football field. But the story of this offense so far this season is this game. Just dive a little deeper into their first half approach against a defensive scheme like LA specifically. They're one of the more exotic in football. They blitz where you don't expect it, and trust their pressure up front to outweigh less bodies in the secondary. At least that was their plan against Philly. And I think it's safe to say that A.J. Brown wanted to try to take advantage of that. Just look at any of this offense's early gotta-have-it downs in this game. Not only with most of them being 3rd and long and classifying as pass-likely scenarios, the Rams were consistently throwing the kitchen sink at the front line. And by kitchen sink, I mean more than 4 pass rushers. They proved they didn't need to send more, though. Because any and every one of those 5-rush, 3-low, 3-deep fire zone coverages, where A.J. Brown was on his own island opposite of trips, it's practically man coverage at that point. And Philadelphia just wasn't doing themselves the service of making those routes a top priority.
So the Eagles offense, the worst half under Nick Sirianni. 22 plays, 33 yards on that first play. Hurts gets pounded, the ball is out, and the Rams, Nate Lemon recovers the fumble after a thunderous hit.
So we've covered the problems. Now let's try and see how Patullo and company found their footing. And we already broke down those 2 big plays from the first second half touchdown drive prior. That sluggo route paired with the seam, and then of course the skinny post Tampa 2 beater that followed it. But let's advance to the following drive. and it's already a 3rd and 10 backed up near the 10. A 2x2 out of the huddle motions to a 3x1 bunch, and A.J. Brown is on that ever so crucial island that we mentioned. And the Rams, yet again, are in one of their disguised Tampa 2 rotations. Halves cover the top, second level's parked at the sticks, and to make it even crazier, they've got a double dropout from the front line and a delayed safety blitz from Quentin Lake off the edge. This is quite a bit post-snap to interpret, so let's see if Philly's got a route concept to beat it. Crosser, dig, and a pair of drags from both A.J. Brown and Jahan Dotson. Now watch the subtle impact this man has on the play. Release off the line, identify the coverage, and adjust your route accordingly. Sit in the void if it's zone, and follow through all the way if it's man. Force the coverage in front of you to pick their poison.
3rd down and 10. They show blitz backed off, rush just 3. Even coverage as Hurts finds Smith. Devonta Smtih comes loose. On 3rd and 10, they get 15.
3-level pass concepts. Sounds extremely simple. Almost sounds stupid to me to even say the solution is that simple. But prior to this game, Jalen Hurts had not attempted a single pass in the 10 to 19 yard range of the field. Not one. 36 in the short, 5 over the top, and 0 intermediate. This doesn't even seem feasible, and it took 2.5 games to see it.
Just think of how much different this game looks in the last 2 possessions, Joe. So from the game being played in a phone booth, everything thrown at or near the line of scrimmage. Now all of a sudden they complete a couple downfield shots. Look how deep everyone is.
The saying is that your run game opens up your air attack, but sometimes it can actually be the exact opposite. And centering your offense around how coverages attack this man specifically should be the blueprint on any given Sunday for this team. Remember that delayed 4th rusher that we mentioned LA had sent earlier in this video? Well, it became a theme, and getting ahead of trends mid-game is how you win them. Now why don't me and you play a little quick game against the coverage here? Any idea what Los Angeles is running? Anybody? 3, 2, 1, Tampa 2 rotation. Who figured? The shifts and drops that the Rams were implementing all game were subtle, but they're still gambles. So if you're Philadelphia, why not try to take advantage of them? Jump ahead later in the 4th quarter. Crucial 3rd down, and yet again a 3x1 set with AJ's solo side. I mean, given the score and the time left, this drive is bow up or bust for Chris Shula defensively. And AJ's been targeted religiously this half. So what is Shula going to counter with? Take a wild guess. Now let me give you a different lens of this coverage and why it's getting implemented so often against them. Disguise cover 4 to the field, and a bracket on AJ. That is basically what they're trying to accomplish with these dropbacks. They want to completely remove him from the equation. Then it just becomes a two-way street, and that's needing a quarterback that can decipher the other side of the coverage. A flat defender, hard roll to deep half, and a buzz down to the curl from depth. Jalen made the right read time and time again.
3rd down and 3. Hurts looks to throw. Delivers and going to get it is Smith. Devonta Smtih with 11 yards and a Philly 1st down.
Let's rewind back about 1 quarter if you're interested in seeing the opposite end of the spectrum. All-out zero blitz look, and a ridiculous size advantage no matter who's on that island with him. Hurts knew where he was going before the snap of the football.
Identifying.
2nd down, Brown, end zone, he's got it for the touchdown. Darius Williams asking for a flag, he won't get it, and A.J. Brown has his 1st touchdown of the year.
Case in point to a T with the go-ahead touchdown that we broke down earlier. Feed him on an island, attack the weak points when he's flooded. AJ's 2 targets specifically on the final drive of this game, they cannot hit the nail on the head any harder. 3rd and 10, walk-up pressure package, and no split field safety look for the time being. Flood concept strong, and a hitch up to the 6 week. The pre-snap motion likely tips the coverage, and if that's the case, you know damn well where you're going right off the drop.
And the Rams get pressure. This is their strength, the pass rush. Here they come after Hurts. It's picked up, it's floated to the outside, and Brown used his strength to rip it away. A.J. Brown fighting to the 34, 25 yards. What a monster.
Now we're 6 snaps later, and if I didn't tell you, you might think it's the exact same drop back. Same blitz look, same alignment, same simple route dialed up to the sticks for A.J. Brown. But this time around, it's a fire zone, and the Rams are choosing to flood their coverage opposite.
3rd and long, pressure coming from the secondary. Hurts goes outside, and it's a perfect strike. A.J. Brown stays in bounds to the 15. 2nd time on this drive, they found Brown on 3rd down, this time for 23 yards.
He didn't score 6 to win it. He didn't make the one play that you're going to remember from this game. But Philly doesn't win it without him. And based on what we just witnessed, now it's time to see if it's sustainable for the rest of the season. But I'm also extremely curious to hear what you guys have to say. So let me know your thoughts about this team in the comments. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate y'all more than anything, and I'll see you in the next one.